this walk. Great rising. And yes, no clouds was covering Ra this morning. It was an orb in the sky, shining bright. Ha ha ha. Yes. Uh-oh, y'all. I forgot two things. Y'all saw I did the videos, so I got a little behind. Upstairs getting ready, coming down here. But yesterday I did the bike, my morning stretch outs, and my hang. So this morning I said, you know what? Let me give the body a little bit of rest. And just hang and record the hanging. Maybe that's not a good term. Great riders, and thanks for coming on for the walk. Thanks for my subscribers, my friends and family at Facebook. Diane, Canada, she's been with me all the way through. Second month. Yvonne, if you get over here and look at this. And I gotta run out today, y'all. So I know y'all think I'll be walking slow anyway, but I'm walking slower because I don't want to break out in the sweat. I gotta run around later on. One thing I'm learning about this phase of life is that you have to eat, you have to get your energy to do stuff. I'm not a doctor. Just telling you about me. Don't sue me, don't quote me. Don't run over those white doctors like you've been doing. For me, if I'm going to do something, I need to have energy. So I have to eat. If I feel tired, that means I need some protein. So I throw back a shake. And I'm glad I was introduced to the shake process. I knew about shakes. I didn't feel I needed them. Because I took supplements. But the fact now that I need protein so much for my bones, my muscles, that I can't miss a meal. So even if I say, oh my God, I don't feel like eating, I don't feel like chilling, then I just shake me up a protein. Oh, that looks sexual. Oh, that's what I found out from my Indonesian Indian, the Judy family. I love the way she does when she shakes stuff. When she does that bottle, she puts it in and she rubs it between her hands. And, you know, we were talking, oh, aggressive, everything is aggressive. But this is so, with the tides, you make a little tide. And that's how I do my shake. And I get no clumps or anything. The way that water swirls, I'm swirling the water. I'm not agitating it like angry. That's what we Americans do. We angry it. But I saw the Indonesian people, and I said, oh wow, I'm going to do that with my shakes. And I put my protein mix in, and I have my water. That's all I do. Mix perfectly. I don't even have to put the little thing inside. So you hear that clunk, 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 clunk. It is so aggressive in the morning. And now, I do this. And it whips around inside, and it's perfect. I think it's like with nature. Mixes like this, it makes waves, So, y'all know the first 5 minutes, which we almost at. They used to come on a walk, like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Now I'm looking at my notes. And I wrote, I now know why I was trained to hate myself and all women, and I couldn't. I couldn't hate my mother or myself. I remember in East New York, Brooklyn, with my mother and the 2 children that she had. They would always talk. I would always hear, oh, you can't trust women. Not only was that in the adults' conversation that I should have been listening to, but even on the TV. And I would watch. At that time, my mother was a little sick. I didn't understand that. But when she couldn't do things that I wanted her to do, then that came up. Not that she was sick, that you can't trust women. Now, I didn't like that. Because I didn't understand. And I didn't understand because the women that I knew, my mother was kind to me. And the ladies that I knew, they were all kind to me. Our neighbors and stuff. Women in school, teachers, maintenance people, cafeteria people, all were very nice. And then the other thing that was taught to me. Now, I left East New York, well, with my mother at about 12. So up until then, women can't be trusted and women are weak. Remember I told y'all? No one understood how I was so agitated at school because when I was coming up, all the shows on TV, all the white women were fainting. They would faint. If someone said boo, they'd be on the ground. Everybody would catch them. A man would catch them there. The man would catch them there. She'd fall back in his arms. But I looked at it, but I wasn't in school yet. So I didn't have any real interaction with the Caucasian European. My sister was Caucasian. She was half white, half black. Well, my mother's daughter, half white, half black. But other than that, no. I didn't have too much contact with them until I went to school. And then it was good because I had seen you on television. I already saw you on television. I knew you were wealthy. I knew you had everything, and you made sure I had nothing. I know we weren't seen on television, other than the role of a maid or something like that. But as I got older, not sixth grade, what is it, 4th, 5th grade, I started looking for them to start fainting. I would always watch my teacher for signs of her fainting because they did it all the time on television. I didn't know, I'm looking back now, when my aunt sent me to Harlem with her sister who was a prostitute, And I went to the school on 134th Street, Linux, on 7th. And we had all African American teachers. And I could relax. Of course, I got the only mixed race teacher who hated my guts. Anyway. I think I do that to the mixed races. And hated. She totally hated my guts. She almost got the school a lawsuit for hitting me on the head so hard with a ruler that it broke the skin on top, and I mean, blood came gushing down. And she was so scared. And of course, they know my aunt wasn't going to do nothing. If it was today, she'd have seen money signs. But she was too busy doing whatever it was she was. Well, she was a prostitute. She was a prostitute. And but the teacher knew that she had to keep me happy till I graduated. And after, because I was fighting this girl, I didn't want to fight, but they all had connected. They all had family. I showed up to school every day. I probably believe I looked like a real hot mess because I was basically taking care of myself. And she kept on with me. I didn't want to fight with her. And we did wind up fighting. And I remember the teacher pulled us apart. She pushed me to the side. She took that ruler, came down on her, and she said, "This is not Brooklyn." That's the first time I realized that there was hate and shit in the boroughs. In the boroughs. The borough of Manhattan did not like the borough of Brooklyn, borough of Queens, borough of Staten Island, borough of the Bronx. The Bronx, they said they're the best. They don't like people from Manhattan. They don't like people from Brooklyn. They're the Queens and Staten Island, all the other boroughs that make New York City. They don't like them. So I just thought she was just disliking me because we were all African American kids and African American teachers. We were right there on 134th Street. And I thought she was hitting me because I mean I was a little dirty runt, or I just got on her nerves. I showed up to school every day, so she ain't had no problem with that. She didn't. She didn't mark absent in my spot. So that's what it was. She didn't say, "You don't listen to her. You don't." She just told me. She said, after she bucked me, she said, "This is not Brooklyn." But after that, for some reason, a lawsuit that I would go home and wake up that old prostitute and tell her, we got a lawsuit. She treated me like gold. Stayed back, had lunch with her. She loved me. I graduated. I had to come back to summer school, and I had to come back to summer school to her. And I would go over her house for lunch. She would take me trip to trip. She liked me. And her name was Miss Green. And after I graduated, I never saw her again. And now as an adult, she didn't like me. They were just trying to get me out of there before my aunt or any family member became conscious and said, "Wow, how did you get that deep gash right there on the top of your head?" And I would say, "My teacher." And money signs would, the New York school system would shoot across their forehead. But I didn't have a lot of people who liked me, and then when you have the teacher liking you, that pushes you up. So the Brooklyn that she hated when she whacked with that ruler wound up being the Brooklyn that she liked. The little grumpy kid, little grungy kid. I just came to school every day. I don't even remember having a backpack or nothing else. I don't remember carrying books back and forth. I mean, I did live like, I lived on 135th Street. The back of the school faced the apartment building that I lived in. So basically I could just cross the street, climb the gate, and go into school, but I had to walk around to 134th Street. And then right behind me, on 136th, was the Black Panthers headquarters. So they would fix breakfast. So I'd go there and get breakfast. I think I used to go there after school too. And then I had to start going to the Y for after school. So, I've got the point of the story. So when I went to Harlem, I was so relaxed. I didn't look at my teacher. The Miss Green, the little, mixed race one, she made unhinged me a little bit. I was waiting for her to go down at any moment. But other than that, we just had African American teachers, and I wasn't so uptight waiting for them to faint in the hall, because I know they didn't faint. They didn't say, oh, and drop a handkerchief and stuff like that. I knew they didn't do that. But that was kind of like my introduction to it all, especially in dealing with women. And I didn't know they could be strong, because that's not what I was taught. If you were strong, you were called a lesbian and such. If you were an independent woman, according to men, you were a lesbian. If you didn't take care of men, cook, wash clothes, and have sex with them, then you were considered a lesbian. So they didn't push the narrative of independent, successful women. I saw that, do you guys remember Marla Thomas and That Girl? She was the first independent, stand-up, non-fainting white woman that I ever saw. She ran around Manhattan. She had her boyfriend. She did her thing. She lived her life. And I was like, whoa! Go, strong woman, go! I mean, as far as Caucasians is concerned, I always knew strong African American women. Oh, I know there's quite a few out there was getting beat and dragged. But I think that's more what you're trained to do. Because when I was coming up, a man could beat on you all day long and still be a man. The minute a woman beat on a man, she was a lesbian, a man-hater. Someone you should avoid as being very violent. See how that works out? Men are putting us in the grave left and right every day. But if we put one of them in the grave, we're very violent. We're worse than he is. But it's coming to our halfway break to do our water. Yes, after that 5 minutes, it's go. Go, 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 go. Yeah, I gotta run around y'all this afternoon. I did get my water in. That's why I said this afternoon. because I did get my water in. And when I get off here, instead of going upstairs, doing dishes, doing laundry, doing this, I'm just going to get my breakfast and try to sit down somewhere. Yes, indeed, I'm walking, oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking, oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Here y'all. I am doing a little slow. I just got a little running around to do this afternoon. And you can understand your energy, how your energy works, you know? And the best thing about this age is a little does a lot. A little does a lot. So, that's the beauty of that. Let's finish up this walk. And my mother did some miracle work. Let me tell you something. Systematic racism was in full swing back then. Red line, where you can live, where you can. To make her life better, she joined the Lutheran cult, and it did make her life better. Instantly, we got an apartment in a 2-family house because the landlord was a member of Pastor Gutu's church. And when my mother went there, and that's how we could open closet doors. Mice wasn't running out. It wasn't a tenement. It was a private house. And she went to a cult because she couldn't do it on her own. We would just move from one rat trap to another. And she just left Virginia. So she wasn't going to go to a Virginia cult. She wasn't going to go Baptist, none of that stuff. They had just wore her through with that systematic racism and that cultism because they were sharecroppers. So what African Americans don't know or have forgotten, or the new millennials, that, and it's probably, if you look at it now too, it was the well-to-do that was in the cults. They took care of the poor. They would take you in and give you a room and stuff like that, and give you a little food or something like that. But they would never raise you above their station. And they would always have you to step on. So she wasn't going that way. So she went Lutheran. Pastor Gutu had just came from the Midwest. I think he was some kind of soccer player or something, they said. And he wound up going to some, what's that corn state where they say you got corn in your ears, whatever that corn state is. And he came to New York through the Lutheran Church. He went for some kind of footwork. And it was supposed to, his name is Lal Guchu, Guttu, you can look him up. And then he decided to become a pastor or something. And then they sent him to New York City. And the Lutheran cult had a lot of power back then. He instantly connected with the mayor there, and he did a lot of recreation. So we were privy to a lot of recreational programs. Like, they used to have the 18-wheelers come through the block. And they would spend all afternoon setting up for the night. And you would see the lights, you would see everything, and then at night, they would do a show. On the stage would be dancers and singers and the whole 9 yards. Yep. And I found out later on that was Pastor Gutu. Because he got in with the recreational department, so he was like, come to East New York. Come to East New York. See, that's why you needed cults, because of racism. Comes to East New York, he had to tell them, we want recreation in East New York. Because as you can see from what I told you about my teacher, how Manhattan feels about Brooklyn. And if all the funds is coming out of Manhattan. So, I always see strong women in my community among African American women. I've seen them get together in horrible situations and band together and help each other out. I remember the rent parties. I remember the fried chicken sandwiches on Saturday fundraising to pay somebody's rent to get paid, the bake sales and all that kind of stuff. I remember going to Miss Whoever house to buy some candy or some soda. I remember. So they were always strong for me. And even for me. Now here's the thing, they were always strong for me, but if they didn't have a man in that community, they was considered to be lesbian or some kind of man-haters. So you had to keep a man near you. You had to wash, take care of a man, change his pampers, powder him, and all that stuff, just so you wouldn't be labeled a lesbian if you were a strong, independent woman. So what happened in our community is a lot of times that's why they took in the drunks. But then the drunks would spend all their time getting drunks and fighting them and beating us up. And they said, oh, going back to Elle's thing, oh, I don't need a man, you're reading it wrong. Our parents, my mother had to take in a man. To have men. Even my Aunt Lucy and Austin. And all they did was get drunk and beat him up. But they kept saying they had to have a man. Because that's the society norms. So even if you have a man that's drunk and beat you up and don't give you no money or take your money, that was okay. See, they were told, they said, oh, that man don't do nothing but get drunk and beat her up. And I said, yeah, but he go to work and he come home every day. He love her. And I said, yeah, he does. That's just the way he show it. Now I'm saying in the back of my mind, oh, hell no. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. And I came back and I watched it. I watched the women do it again because it's better to have a man, be it a drunk man, be it a heroin addicted man. It didn't matter. If you were a strong woman without a man, then you were a lesbian. Now, what you do is you get a no-man tax. When contractors come, you take the car for repair, you need the refrigerator done, or anything like that, and they show up, and there's no man, the price changes. Because he can't talk man stuff, and the man know that a man would know that he was cheating us. But since he can't tell, he know he can bullshit around. Well, I gotta get this special screw that costs about $1,000 to go right in there. And she's like, the special screw? What do you need a special screw for? And like, oh, you really need it, you gotta have it. I'm a man, I know. And then you get rid of him and you're like, I ain't no fool. I know I ain't no special screw. And you get rid of him. And you get the next one. And he look around and he said, oh, man. He said, oh, I got to get you a few of these special wires. They're going to be about $100 a piece. I need about 20 of them. But other than that, that's the wire you need. Because you don't understand you're a wire. You're a woman. See, the copper, and don't worry about it. I'm a man. I know what I'm doing. And that's the tax. That's called a don't have a man tax that they put on you. I am so glad everything is becoming computerized, because you know what? Women will soon be able to fix cars because they'll be computerized. She'll know how to put it up on whatever and stick whatever's in it and read the computer that tells her how to fix it. And it won't be ain't got no man tax. It's going to come to the point that a lot of things in our home is going to be in the realm of computers, put it in computer, and that's women. And she can come do that. Maybe she can't move that whole refrigerator, but she can come and fix it. And then strong women won't have to pay a don't got no man in the house tax. I'm telling you, I was in the 60s. I saw my own 2 eyes. I saw my aunts. I saw the men that they had that, and I see it today with a lot of women. Oh, I got my husband. Some of them, yeah, they good, they fit, they do. But the other of them, the rest of them, but what a good life. You have a whole gender being raised to serve you. What a damn good life. If I was a man, I wouldn't want to change it. I totally understand why they don't want anything to change. Why they want you burdened down with kids. So he can be a kid too. I totally understand it. I freaking get it. I spent, 4 years with my grandmother? And you can't keep no man if you don't. How you gonna keep a man if you can't clean these clothes? How you gonna keep his clothes clean? How you gonna get a man if you can't cook his food? You know he ain't gonna eat nothing, it's burnt. She never went into sex though. Because I would ask her, okay, and why are you letting your grandsons do what they doing to me? So we never talked that. We never talked that. I couldn't say, did this happen to you, Grandma? We need to stop this ugly cycle. I couldn't say that. All I can learn is, how am I going to, oh yeah, and how you going to take care of man, baby? And that was when we were cleaning out the bottom of the cabinets. She made us clean out the cabinet. She had all the girls there. We were captive. All her grandchildren. We were captive. And she started telling us, how are we going to keep a man if we can't keep our cabinets clean? What man is going to want a woman whose cabinets aren't clean? Because if he can't keep his cabinets, she made sure to say that everything was his. His clothes, his cabinet, his food, his refrigerator, his door, his furniture. In that house, my grandmother owned nothing. Everything was my grandfather's. How are you going to take care of his children? They won't even let you claim the children. They're his children. How can someone that just, I never understood that. All you do is spurt semen. That's all you do. If you spurted your semen on a fucking wall, it wouldn't do nothing. But that's all you do. You squirt semen. I have the egg. Thanks for coming on the walk in the morning. I have the egg. I get sick. I get sick, so sick. So sick. I can't think. My nose blows up. My lips blows up. Sometimes my feet blow up. Sometimes my hands blow up. Sometimes I cry. I don't even know why. And then sometimes I'm so angry, I can cut everybody in the house. As I carried the child from the egg that was inside of me. All you did was spit at it. And you're done. So how come it got to be his baby? His bastard. Let's use the term. If you're married, it's his baby. If you're not, it's his bastard. No, when I was growing, no claim for the mother. That's why they can do Roe v. Wade, because I never heard a man ask another man, oh, you carrying that seed, making noises this morning? He don't know that talk. He just spits semen. But I was told it was weak. I remember when I didn't know anything about carrying children. And I was told how weak women are. Basically, that's how women got pregnant, from their weakness. I'm trying to tell you, especially when I went in down south in the cold, they stressed women and weak. But all around me, I couldn't see nothing but strong women, because all the men are dead because y'all killed them in the Vietnam War and the Korean damn war. You killed them on some corporate bullshit. But all I can hear is how weak I was. Women were weak. Working full time, carrying a life inside of you, using your blood and every energy you got to stay alive. And that man that spit at you is waiting at home for you to come and cook dinner for him. Because that's what you do. Being a weak woman. See, to me, I always thought that was being a strong woman. And especially after I got pregnant with my daughter, I knew it was a strong woman. I knew it was strong women. But how it's fed to you in a twist. In a moment of weakness, you got pregnant. That's what they said. Weakness, you got pregnant. No, you got pregnant in strength. Because a strong body will hold a baby and a weak one won't. Trust me, I was insecticiding for damn near 2 years and never produced anything. My body wasn't having it. But we were the weak ones. But I know we're not. I know we're not. And I'm just speaking for African American sisters. I've met some strong Caucasian women, but no. They're half. They become whole with their husband. But they are half by themselves. And that goes for a woman, an African American woman who is married. She's not strong to me. She's half. Because she's only whole if she's with her other part. And that's the teaching. I only believe married women and make plans with married women when they say this one thing to me. I got to check with my husband. That is honest. And I know we could possibly do those plans. If I meet a married woman and she said, oh, I can do it. I'm like, ain't you married? No, it's okay. I know she's not going to show up. I know that's not going to happen. And 9 times out of 10, they don't show up. Because you are half of a half. You're a rib. And even that, not even half of a half. Basically, you're a rib. To obey. So you have to ask permission. So no, to me, when you married like that, and if you got a boyfriend, then to me, I'm dealing with someone who's half. I need you to go and check with the other half and come together. That's not my life. If I say I'm going to do it, if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Because it's not contingent on someone else being involved in it happening. So as much as I know everybody's upset over Roe v. Wade, and everybody's talking, the Republicans still talking about being in the woman's vagina and telling her what to do. And they are gaining momentum. So that's why I know I'm asking the sisters to please. And I'm calling on, I don't know, I want to say the married sisters, but check with your husband. And hopefully your husband is for getting rid of that vile GOP Tea Party conservative, and a Democratic conservative is Republican. Don't ever forget that. And get rid of them. So I'm asking the sisters. I'm asking the sisters out here. Y'all, please register and go vote. And stop this madness, because for us it's worse. See, they didn't have experiments done on them where they was digging all in the vagina, and you could come through a plantation, an encampment, an enslavement camp, and you can pay the enslaver. And if it was enough, he let you take that woman and cut that baby out for your experiments. But not to the white people, not when the white women. So they don't know anything about that. They don't know anything about that. Remember, their babies wasn't taking this stuff. But they also never had so many kids that you got to watch them starve because you can't feed them. So what I'm trying to say is they may be upset, but they may not be really down. And if their husband ain't down, Because remember, none of my mother's baby and daddy stayed with her. And they didn't lose any sleep or any life over it. So men don't want you to have abortion because they ain't got to stay and take care of them. And no, they ain't got to pay for them. No, they just get off. They have 10 kids and pay no child support because they work off the grid. They work off the grid. Men back men. That owner don't mind paying him under the table because he know how it is. He know how women are. How women trap you. Okay, y'all, I ain't doing the weights. I did a lot of lifting this morning. And I'll be doing a lot this afternoon. So, we're just going to talk this through. And y'all can do the weights. Y'all know how it goes. I'm not changing. It doesn't change. We moved to 45 minutes. 20 minutes. Water. I went to the bathroom because I drank a quart before I get here. Then I take a sip. We come back. We do 20 minutes. Then at last 5 minutes, we do our hand stuff. Today I'm kind of conserve some energy for what I got to do later on. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. You know, I messed this whole thing up. So happy to be walking. Thanks for coming for the walk. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Subscribe. Oh, I got some more shorts I'm putting up. I need to put up some bike riding shorts. I mean video shorts, not riding shorts. I'm walking. So happy to be this is our 5-minute water gulping chat. I'm trying not to sweat so much. I'm sweating. So sisters, I ask you, please vote. We didn't have a vote. We was under black code and Jim Crow and all them crowed. And now since they're specifically going to women, we in that group, we ain't gonna come out good. We done seen through history. Them white lights, damn near brights, come out standing on their feet. But somehow, we browns and blacks, when we come out, we got somebody with a foot on our neck. Vote. Make sure that foot don't get to us, please. Vote. Sisters, vote. Them other ladies, they just getting mad, honey. We've been mad. Vote, y'all. Vote. Can't depend on that other side. They just getting a little upset. Because to me, how I'm fighting not to get Jim Crow back, they should have fought just as hard to keep Roe v. Wade, but they didn't. They didn't. They didn't. When Ruth Gator RGB died, I didn't understand the significance of it. I didn't understand how they were devastated. They had no contingency plan in place. They didn't even put anybody in there to back Ruth Gator Ginsburg. They had her standing there fighting that all by herself. They put Sotomayor in, but she was younger. She wasn't up there in that. How cults do everything is a pyramid. The ones on top and on the bottom. Now we got to send somebody in there to help Sonia Sotomayor. She's the only judge there, Supreme Court judge. Them two ribs and them cult leaders, nah. We got to send in some judges to stand for women and look at women, look at these laws and stuff that's being done through a woman's perspective, because they're all men. So we need to go in there and start hitting that through legislation, taking it to the Supreme Court and putting a stamp on it. Stop your BS. Ha! This is how brazen these men are. Lindsey Graham said, oh, if it's so-and-so weeks pregnant, you can't get it. And the other one said, well, we going to stop it if it's such and such a month. If it's this month. I want to say, y'all fucking kidding me? Do you know anything about being pregnant, you dicks? You semen shooter? You one-eyed spitter? You don't know nothing about carrying a baby and what trimester is what and this. Don't even know what a damn trimester is. Can't even say menstrual cycle or period. Yes, it's a curse. She got the curse. One-eyed spitting. Spitters. Well, if I ever get to be the majority and the Speaker of the House, I'm going to make sure that they can't have any children after the 3 or 4 weeks. I said to myself, what the fuck do you know about being pregnant? You closet queens. You wannabe women so bad haters. Men hate women if they break their heart, and they hate women because they hate them. And women can't see that. That's what their oppression is about. The spitters. The water goes down, the air comes up. Vote, sisters. Get them white men's hands from underneath our panties. They have been in there since enslavement time. They have been in there coming up through. And from my lifetime, from what I'm seeing, the way y'all ain't got no coochie and breasts, they've been all up in there. Woo! Excuse me. Vote them out, y'all. Vote out them Reds, GOP, Q, Tea Party, Conservative. Either side, Conservative, Democrat is a Republican. Get rid of all of them. Oh. Yeah, I know. I'm grateful for the 2 views and the 7 likes I get on Facebook and the 1 or 2 likes I get on YouTube. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it because I'm a strong woman. I'm not an old crying woman. I'm not senile, so I'm not going to be liked. So I'm only going to get one or two likes, or, or one or two likes on YouTube, or maybe 7 on Facebook. I totally understand it. No hard feelings. I said, oh, that's why she don't have no man she gave. You know what I got? I got the happies with life. I got the happies with my living situation. You know what I got? I got the happy to be broken. Thank you for the company. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming on the walk.